was a game called Bladestorm. Some people picked it up and played it, and they decided to make another game called Bladestorm Nightmare. But I'm wondering now, Victor Lucas, was it a dream come true, or was it really a nightmare for you?
This is one of those types of games that's been upconverted and enhanced and sort of collector's editionized for the new machines, the current machines. And it has one scratching their head because it feels unbelievably dated.
Forward into battle!
This is kind of a riff on the Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, crowded battlefield type thing. And you're basically choosing different types of characters, and you're also commanding large armies, and you're squaring off against other large armies.
First of all, the visuals here are not up to par.
They're a travesty.
Everything looks really muddy. And
it's not even that. It's just so cluttered and confusing. There's all kinds of on-screen pop-up stuff. All these arcadey type sort of windows and balloons and things like popping up, and you're like, what the hell am I looking at? Because what you see in terms of gameplay is just a mash of bodies, and it's a complete cluster.
There's no right or wrong anymore. Indeed.
When you're jumping in and you see the main title screen, you get a choice of playing the normal game mode or nightmare mode. What I did was go into the normal mode because you build up your character that way, and then you can use that same character and implement that into nightmare mode. And how nightmare mode differs from the regular gameplay mode is that it's a more fantastical take on it. Because right now, in the normal game mode, we're taking part in the 100 Years' War. So it's just England and it's France and it's fighting, which sounds like a very interesting concept for a game, especially a war-based game, and especially when we can actually control troops. But jumping into it and learning how exactly that happens is so convoluted. The tutorial isn't really even that helpful.
No, it isn't, and just looks like a bunch of problems. It just looks like unfinished development and unfinished art. It's been very hard for these crowd-based action RPG type games to successfully be designed for these consoles.
I am not certain why he knows so much, though.
You can actually choose between different kinds of fighters here.
Change on the fly.
And change on the fly, which is interesting, but learning how to do that is really irritating. But also, while you're commanding in-game, you're using 3 different buttons, and that's all you're really doing here is using 3 different buttons, and you have to wait for some of them to regenerate. Holding them down sometimes helps. Honestly, you're learning as you go, which is fine. For most video games, I'm okay with it, but this one just seemed so frustrating, and I almost turned it into a game for myself while playing. I was hating it so much that I started to enjoy hating it.
Follow me to victory!
It is a miserable game, and I could just imagine anybody taking a look at this thing and being utterly confused, no matter their level of game experience or not. And like, imagine someone that hasn't really played a lot of video games or played anything like this, sitting down to this travesty.
I was thinking that too.
It doesn't deserve to exist in 2015.
It's so true.
Like, it just doesn't deserve to be out on the market, and it's a shock that games like this are still trying to push for attention. This is awful. This is just a terrible experience, and it doesn't deserve to be in anybody's collection. Stay the hell away from this thing.
Yeah, this is a very bad game. Victor Lucas, what are you scoring Bladestorm Nightmare?
0.5.
Wow!
It's crap.
I'm gonna go a little higher than Victor Lucas, getting a 2 for me.
Okay.